Thank you so much, and thank you to Yuka and your colleagues for the invitation. Imagine that you are driving along this road. Suddenly you see a sign, and the sign reads above the speed limit with a question mark. So how do you react to this sign? I guess most people, they will look at their speedometer and maybe reduce the speed. So the sign has an acute effect of reducing speed and thus may prevent traffic accidents. But then you continue to drive and you forget about the sign. What happens with the speed? I guess in most cases it goes up again. And we can compare the effect of e-learning programs with this sign. It increases awareness and may affect your behavior in the short term, but for it to have a long-term effect, it must be combined with other measures as well. And now we'll give some info on how we in Anti-Doping Norway incorporates e-learning in a more comprehensive community-based prevention program. But first, some basics and background. Exercise is good for us. We know that. This figure on the right shows that in the last 20 years, Norwegians between 16 and 24 have more than doubled when it comes to strength training activity. So now almost 80% do strength training. And that is, for the most part, very good news, because we know strength training is a good activity for our health. But an increased interest in building muscle may also make some individuals into bad behavior and bad health behavior. So what do we do? Another study showed that 70% of Norwegian teenagers, they feel pressure when it comes to their body and their looks. This is a national study. Furthermore, we heard about muscle dystrophy earlier today, and a recent study in gyms, Norwegian men aged between 16 and 40, 35% show signs of muscle dysmorphia. And this is worrisome because we know that these are also at increased risk of using prohibited substances. Jim McWay talked to us about the dopogenic environment, and this is all around us. We are affected by social media, our peers, marketing, and of course, all these products that promises us a fit and muscular body. So how can we counteract this dopogenic environment at the community level? For some, use of doping may be a solution to their unrealistic body image and unrealistic exercise goals. I'll use Lillehammer municipality as an example. Have anybody of you been to Lillehammer before? Yeah? So Lillehammer is a medium-sized Norwegian city. I will not use Lillehammer because Lillehammer has more problems with doping than other municipalities, but because they have recently went into collaboration with Anti-Doping Norway to prevent doping at the community level. So Lillehammer are situated 2 hours north of Oslo. It's famous for its mountains and nice skiing areas. Also for the wooden houses, and of course the Lillehammer Olympics in '94. I thought that Norway won the amount of medals, but it was Russia, so I haven't included the statistics for the medals in this slide. I think Finland was down there somewhere. So for this model, local mobilization against doping, we follow some basic principles. First of all, prevention is a continuous process. We need an interdisciplinary approach and local ownership. The target group must be exposed to the message on different arenas. I'll come back to that. We should encourage and stimulate to healthy behavior, not only talk about what's dangerous about using doping, but also to stimulate positive and healthy exercise. We should try to prevent both intentional and unintentional doping. We know that, especially among youth, unintentional doping is probably a bigger issue than intentional doping. And use of supplements is a big concern. The programs and tools should be based on available research, where there are some. We know that the research is lacking when it comes to good interventions, but there are some research, and we should try to evaluate. This is also difficult, as you may know, and we could spend a whole day talking about this, but we at least should try to evaluate as much as possible. In Lillehammer municipality, and when it comes to local mobilization against doping, there are several stakeholders that must be involved in this community-based prevention program. The high schools, there are 2 high schools in Lillehammer. The municipality administration, when it comes to plans and how they work on prevention on also different matters. Police, of course. Use of doping is illegal in Norway, so police play an important role. And gyms. Also the sport clubs. The goal of this program is not related to sport doping, but the sport clubs is also an important stakeholder, because in Norway there's 5.5 million inhabitants. More than 2 million are also part of organized sports. So many are doing sports and also partake in fitness activities, strength training. So these are not 2 different groups. We put down a steering group, and they develop an action plan based on Anti-Doping Norway's tools and measures to prevent doping. In this presentation, I will tell you a bit more about what the schools do and the gyms within local mobilization against doping. Many countries around Europe have their own fitness center program, as do Norway. It's called Clean Fitness Center. There are about 1,100 fitness centers in Norway. 550 are part of the Clean Fitness Center program. They pay an annual fee, and they get access to resources and assistance from Anti-Doping Norway. They also get a stamp that they can put on their door and use in their marketing. And we experienced that for most of the gyms, it's very important for them to signalize to the public that they are a clean fitness center and that they take this responsibility seriously. If they don't, they probably get fewer customers. E-learning is a key part of the Clean Fitness Center program, and I will show you a trailer of that e-learning program.
We spend a lot of time training. We want to take care of our bodies and like to be active. Training gets us in better shape. But what if results are achieved using performance-enhancing drugs? Doping undoubtedly has an effect, but it also has consequences. Do you know enough about them? And which rules and regulations apply? The e-learning program Clean Fitness Center gives basic anti-doping training in a simple and dynamic way, designed for both fitness professionals and members. Works great on all platforms. Take a break and use a few minutes to increase your anti-doping knowledge. Log in to rencenter.no now.
So a goal for local mobilization against doping is that all the fitness centers become certified, and then they have to follow some procedures to get the stamp. We also provide some resources for the fitness centers that they can use in their marketing and on their social media platforms. This is a recent one. It has some Norwegian text, so I have translated to the right there. I'll play the video. So this is an actor. He just showed up at the fitness center. Everything was filmed with a mobile camera, and he was told to just improvise. And no one told the other staff or the members. So he went around doing all these crazy things for a couple of hours. This is just some of the exercises he did. So the fitness centers, they want these kind of resources because it's something positive, humoristic, but also with a serious tone in it. Then high schools. We do primary education, where we give a message to big groups, often at high schools. So there's 2 high schools in Lillehammer. We both give face-to-face presentations, talk about different topics. We of course talk about doping, but we also talk a lot about what's outside doping. So the social media, body image, peer pressure, use of dietary supplements, how they may train and achieve their goals by training clean, and so on. Clean Student is online resources, only available in Norwegian. It consists of several modules. In each module, there are presentations that the teachers can use, and there are several videos with experts talking about these different topics. I will just show you one video where a researcher at the University of Oslo talks about body image. It's texted in English.
Jeg tenker det er 2 ting. Det ene er å bygge opp selvbildet ditt på andre områder enn utseende, så på en måte kompensere med å bli fornøyd med det selv på andre ting, med skole, idrett, venner, at på en måte like deg selv på andre områder, og ikke la utseendet være så veldig viktig på hvem du er. Og det andre er å være bevisst på hvordan media manipulerer deg, og hvordan disse idealene er nesten totalt uoppnåelige, og det å bruke masse energi på det gjør at du mister mange muligheter i livet ditt på å gjøre ting som også er veldig ålreit. Så det er å ikke tro på media.
So our philosophy is that e-learning is very important. You can reach out to many people, cost effective, but it cannot stand alone, and it has to be integrated in a more comprehensive approach. And this is how we do it when it comes to collaborations with municipalities. Thank you.